Students, today we will start the new chapter of chemistry, that is structure of atom. As we have discussed in class 9th, that the Indian and the Greek philosopher around 400 BC, they proposed that the atom is the fundamental particle of the matter. That means, what they say, if we are going to divide the matter on, then they will be, a stage will reach that they will not be divided, and that stage is termed as atom. Why it can be divided? Because it consists of only one particle, and that particle is termed as atom. The atom, it is derived from a Greek word, atomio. Start the new chapter, that is structure of atom. Structure of atom. First, what we have studied around 400 BC. The Indian and Greek philosopher state that the atom is the fundamental building block of matter. According to him, the atom is derived from a Greek word, that is atomio. Next one, according to them, the atom is derived from Greek word, that is atomio. It is derived from a Greek word, atomio, which means uncut or indivisible. It means if we are going to divide matter on and on, then a stage will reach that it will not be divided, and that state is termed as atom because it consists of only one particle. According to them, if we continued subdivide the matter, then we got atom, which is indivisible. What we got? We got around 400 BC. The Indian and the Greek philosopher state that the atom is fundamental particle of the matter. What it means? The atom arranged in different ways to give the different type of matter. The next is that according to them, the atom, he named atom. The atom is derived from a Greek word, atomio, which means indivisible. Why it is indivisible? Because it is only one. And if it is only one, it can't be divided. He states that when we undergo subdivision of matter, continued subdivision of matter, on dividing, a stage will reach that it can't be divided. That is termed as atom because it is only one. That's why it is termed as fundamental part of the matter. But this type of speculations will remain for a longer duration of time because at that time we haven't such technique to validate it, to check it whether it is correct or not. But in the early 19th century, we have checked it by various experiments, and we have found that it can be divided into electrons, protons, and neutrons, which we will discuss in the later classes. To the next, we will discuss that Dalton proposes atomic theory, as we have already discussed. In 1808, he also proposed that the atom is indivisible part of the matter. The next point is that in 1808, Dalton proposed the atomic theory. It also states that the atom is individual part of the matter. As we have already discussed about the Dalton's atomic theory in the previous classes, I'm not going to discuss it here, but we will move on the next. We will move that there are certain questions arises in our mind. After the discovery of electron, proton, and neutron, how we will account for the stability of the atom? The first question, which is in front of the scientist, is that how we will account for the stability of the atom. To the next, how we will know that atoms of different elements are differ from each other in chemical and physical property. To the next question is that how the atom of different element combine to form molecules, or how they will undergo chemical reactions. The next question is that what is the reason of the production of electromagnetic radiation? That means after the discovery of electron, proton, and neutrons, the various questions arises in front of the scientist. That is, what are they? We'll discuss them. The first one, after the discovery of electrons, protons, and neutrons, the various questions in front of scientists are: the first one, how we will account for the stability of atom. The next one is that to compare the behavior of one element to that of another element in terms of chemical and physical property. To the next, we will discuss to explain the formation of molecules by combination of various elements. To understand understand the nature and origin of characteristic electromagnetic radiation absorbed or emitted by various atoms. What we have discussed now is that around 400 BC, the ancient and the Greek philosophers state that the atom is the fundamental building block of the matter. It means 400 BC के अलावा जो इंडियन और ग्रीक फिलोसफर थे वो ये कहते थे, वो ये जानते थे, वो ये समझते थे कि जो एटम है वो फंडामेंटल यूनिट है. फंडामेंटल यूनिट इट मीन्स द एटम, when atom is going to repeat itself, then it gives the entire structure of the matter. In order to state the same thing, इसी बात को कहने के लिए वो ये कहते थे कि if we are going to divide the matter, suppose we have wood, if we are going to cut wood on and on, अगर लकड़ी को हम लगातार काटते रहे तो काटते 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 it will become teeny, and at that time a stage will reach, एक ऐसी परिस्थिति आएगी कि we are not going to divide it further, फिर हम उसको आगे डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. हम आगे डिवाइड नहीं कर सकते. What it means? It is so because it is composed of only one thing. It is only one. And what is that one? That is atom. That's why they named it as atom, which is derived from a Greek word atomio. Atomio, it means individual or uncut, that can't be cut down into two parts. To the next, at that time, before 19th century, we haven't such technique. हमारे पास ऐसी तकनीक नहीं थी so that we can know whether the statement is correct, whether how can we can validate the statement. ये जो statement है वो सही है कि गलत है, हम उसको validate नहीं कर सकते थे. But in the early 19th centuries, we have such technique and we are able to check it. That's why we are going to say that the atom can be divided into electron, protons and neutrons. अब जब इलेक्ट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन खोज दिए गए, then the various questions arises in front of the scientist. That is, how the atoms, how the electrons, protons and the neutrons are arranged inside the atom that is responsible. How they will account for the stability of the atom. किस तरीके से इलेक्ट्रॉन, प्रोटॉन और न्यूट्रॉन्स एटम में अरेंज हैं और एटम हमारा स्टेबल है. The first question was that. The next question was that कि how the atoms, one atom is different from another atom. When electron, protons and neutrons was discovered, then a next question arises in front of the scientist is that how one atom is different from another atom in terms of physical and chemical property. The next question arises, that is the chemical bond formation. It means how atom undergo chemical combinations to form molecules. And the next question arises is that how the electromagnetic radiations are produced, that we will study in quantum chemistry for the production of electromagnetic radiation. How the electromagnetic radiations are produced, what are their nature, which radiation is emitted by which atom and how they are produced. These are the questions which are arises in front of scientists after the discovery of electron and proton and neutron. In this chapter, we will discuss the discovery of electron, the discovery of proton, the discovery of neutron, E by M ratio, the various technique, oil drop experiment, To the next one, we will discuss the atomic structures, that is Rutherford atomic model. The next, Bohr's atomic model. Before that, we have the Thomson atomic model. To the next one, we will discuss the dual behavior of matter and radiation. We will discuss them one by one. Let us start the discovery of electron. That is, but before that, a question arises that when we have supposed that the matter is composed of individual particle atom, then how a question arises in our mind that atom can further be divided. अगर हमने मान लिया है कि एटम जो है वो इनडिविजिबल पार्ट है मैटर का, लेकिन हमारे मन में ये क्वेश्चन कैसे आ सकता है कि एटम कैन फर्दर बी डिवाइडेड. अकॉर्डिंग टू डाल्टन्स एटॉमिक थ्योरी, what he observed, he have given the various observation that on the basis of atomic theory, he proved the conservation of mass. That is, mass can never be created nor be destroyed, as we have already discussed. That means Dalton atomic theory is successful in explaining the conservation of mass. It is also successful in explaining the law of multiple proportion. It is also successful in explaining the law of constant proportion. It means all these laws which we have studied, that can be validated by the Dalton's atomic theory, as we have already studied. But how a question arises in our mind? It means on the basis of atomic theory that the atom is the smallest part of the matter that was proposed by the Dalton atomic theory, we are able to explain the law of mass conservation, the law of constant proportion, the law of multiple proportion. Then how a question arises in our mind that atom can further be divided into electron, proton and neutrons. This phenomena, constant proportion, multiple proportion and conservation of mass, can be explained on the basis of Dalton atomic theory. But a various observation from our daily life is that a glass rod rubbed with silk and an ebonite rod rubbed with fur has some electrical property or has got some charge. It means they will attract or repel the other charged substances. This phenomena can't be explained on the basis of Dalton atomic theory. That is when a glass rod or a ebonite rod is rubbed with silk and fur, they get charge. This phenomena cannot be understood by the Dalton atomic theory. That a question arises that whether the atom can further be divided into other subatomic particles. On the basis of these questions, we are in a search that whether atom can be further divided or not. In order to know it, an experiment was conducted in 1830. Faraday concluded that when electricity is passed through electrodes in a solution, then the substances are liberated and deposited on the electrode. We will study in the class 12 that Faraday laws. What happened? We have already studied in class 10th. Chemical reaction we have, that is the chloroalkali process. When we fed electricity in the solution, then what we in aqueous concentrated sodium hydroxide. When we pass electricity in concentrated brine solution, then what we see? We see that the substances are deposited and liberated on the electrodes. Then the Faraday conclude that when electricity is passed in a solution, then the substances are deposited and liberated at the electrode. This suggests the particulate nature of electricity. What means? अगर हमारे पास सोल्यूशन है, हमने क्लास 10 में पढ़ा है इन क्लोरोअल्कली प्रोसेस, जब हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी इलेक्ट्रोड से पास करते हैं, या वी हैव फोटोलिटिक डिकम्पोजिशन रिएक्शंस टू, जब हम इलेक्ट्रिसिटी को क्या करते हैं, वाटर के एसिडिक सॉल्यूशन में पास करते हैं, तो हाइड्रोजन एंड ऑक्सीजन आर प्रोड्यूस. इट मीन्स दिस shows the particulate nature of electricity. Now we will discuss the discovery of what electron. Let us know it. In mid 1850s, Faraday, what he made, he performed an experiment that is known as discharge tube experiment. We have this glass tube in which two electrodes are sealed. This electrode, it is termed as cathode. This electrode is termed as anode. We have fed a vacuum pump here. This one is known as vacuum pump. What do we have? We have a glass tube. We have this glass tube in which cathode is negative and anode is positive. This one is the discharge tube in which we have two metal electrodes. This one is metal electrode, this one is termed as cathode, and this one is anode. We have fed a vacuum pump here. Why? To reduce the pressure. It means we have to reduce the pressure. And we apply a very high potential difference. That is high voltage. क्या किया गया इस एक्सपेरिमेंट में? पहले देखिए कि हमने ग्लास ट्यूब लिया, इसमें दो इलेक्ट्रोड्स को सीड कर दिया गया, एक कैथोड है और दूसरा एनोड है. जब हमने इस इलेक्ट्रोड्स को सील कर दिया, then what we maintain? By the use of vacuum pump, we reduce the pressure. Later on we will discuss why we are going to maintain these conditions. And when we apply a high voltage, then what we see, the streams of particles. On application of high voltage, what he observed, they observed that the streams of particles are moving from cathode towards anode. Since these particles are not visible to us, therefore what he meant